guys, I am so excited right now. It was my birthday this past weekend. As part of a birthday present, I got a lighting system so you guys can actually see me now. Hopefully I won't be yellow anymore. I can probably do tutorials now since you guys can actually see what I'm doing, and I am just so excited. It's even like a dimmable light, so I think I have it on the lowest setting right now, and then I can turn it like high, 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 high. So this is the highest level, and then I can turn it so it's not as bad, or I can turn it to the point where it's like off. And then this is it with just shutting it off. So you guys can see the huge, huge difference. So I'm so excited now. That makes me so incredibly happy. You guys don't even know. I hope it makes it a little bit easier to watch me. I hope you guys enjoy it. So that was my big I'm so excited now. Okay. So I know color correcting is the whole big like to do right now. I know everyone is pushing color correcting, and so I wanted to do like a color correcting 101 video for you guys. As you know, my skin is generally not the best, and my skin has every single problem that color correcting would fix. Color correcting has been around for years and years and years and years and years. I have been color correcting for years and years and years and years and years. And I will say right off the bat that color correcting is definitely 100% not for everyone. Just because everyone is pushing color correcting right now, that does not mean you necessarily need color correcting. I'm going to show you guys, and you'll see when I take off half of my face, what color correcting is meant to do, who it's supposed to help, and the kind of problems it's supposed to correct. Because there is not like a one size fits all in color correcting. So right off the bat I want to say that, but let me get a makeup wipe and take off half of my makeup, and then from there you guys can see my face in its natural state, and then I'll show you guys everything you need to know about this whole color correcting thing. Alright, so there you guys go. So this side of my face still has makeup on the left side, which is probably going to end up being your right side. And now this side of my face is completely bare. Let's see, I have yellowness. I always have some kind of jaundice, and I don't think I ever really talked about it, but I had some health issues a couple years ago. I had to go through like a mild chemotherapy for it, and it affected my liver, and now I just kind of have like a permanent almost like yellow tone or jaundice effect. So a lot of times I appear yellow even though my actual undertone is not yellow. So it's a strange thing, but I have a lot of yellow, a lot of sallowness. Obviously, we guys know that I am the master of under eye bags. I have some very heavy, deep set under eye bags that carry a lot of purple tones, and then of course all of my redness. So you guys can see I'm totally broken out. I have red spots everywhere. I have the rosacea on my cheeks going up into my nose, not to mention all my blemishes and all of my acne. So there is a lot of work to cover all of this up. This side, as you can see, is for the most part covered up. I have had my makeup on for quite some time now, and I kind of rushed through it because I had an appointment to go through, but when you look at this side compared to this side, there's definitely a difference. And just so you guys know, the products I'm using for my color correcting today are all drugstore products. They're actually all the same brand. They are the NYX HD concealers. So they look like this, and these are the 3 color correcting colors. So you have yellow, you have green, and you have purple. They also have more of a peachy salmon color too, but I'll get into that later in the video. But these you can find in drugstores or Ulta, and they're $4.99 a piece. So first off, let's start with what is color correcting. Color correcting in essence is using color to delete color. So if you look at something that's called a color wheel, which you will see all the time, artists use it all the time, graphic designers, for web design, things of that nature. You can just Google color wheel, and like a million of them will come up. But essentially, you have complementary colors, which are colors that are on the opposite end of one another. So say you have the color red, for instance, the eczema and the blemishes in my cheeks. Red's complementary color is green. So that is why I think Christmas, red and green, red and green, red and green, they complement each other. So what happens is you put green over red and it totally cancels it out. It basically neutralizes it. So you have green for red, you have yellow for purple, you have purple for yellow, and then you also have peach and salmon versus blue. So with that said, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is start on my under eye area. So for this, I'm going to be using the yellow NYX HD concealer. And we're just going to dot it right in this area. Now, the one thing I will say about these NYX ones is that they tend to dry very quickly. So you want to work with them quickly. You don't want to let them set on your face, or they will start to kind of set and dry, and it gets hard to work with them that way. And you also, like, I see people that are doing color correcting videos on YouTube,
and they're using way
too much of this stuff. You only need a very small amount, guys. If you put like a huge, like, cover your whole cheek in green, there's no way you are ever going to be able to blend all that green out. And that is not what you want. You don't want a green cheek. I'm going to do the green now. I'm going to start on the green now because that's really all the yellow I need. But I do need a lot of green since my face is mostly red. And let me show you guys how little I use. So we have this area of redness right here, right? Dot, 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 dot. That's it. That whole area, guys. That's it. So I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of start to move it around a little bit. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender. And I'm actually pushing the product in. I'm not really moving it around. I'm just pushing it in. Now let's start down here. Dot. Three dots. See how much that is? That's too much. You guys don't need that much. So what I will do is I'll actually just move some of it down here. You guys want this to be as blended as possible. That's all I'm going to use on my nose. You guys don't want to be seeing green and yellow and purple and salmon by the time you blend all of this out. At least not a lot of it. Now, the one thing I will say as far as canceling out redness, this is great if you have rosacea, eczema, any kind of redness like that. Scarring, possibly. This is not for like a pimple that you just popped. As you can see, like, I have a scab right here from a pimple I had, and it's red, but this is not going to really help with that. What you need for that is like a concealer that actually matches your skin tone, because this is not enough to cancel out. This is not for like scabs and scarring and pimples and things like that. It might help it a little bit, but it's not really what its purpose is. This is the last thing I'm going to do as far as the green for the redness, is this area right here that just was a huge blemish, and now that the scab kind of came off and now it's just almost like in its scarring phase. So I'm just going to put a little teeny tiny bit right there and just dab it around with my finger. And then in with the beauty blender. This guy right here. Teeny, teeny, tiny little spot. finger, beauty blender, gone. Okay? So that is for the redness, and now you are already seeing a lot of that redness. It's canceled out. I did use too much in here, as you can tell, because now that you can see that green tint. That's okay, we can work with that. Now we're going to do purple. Purple is, like I said, to cancel out like sallowness, dullness, jaundicey kind of color, anything like that. So where I tend to get it is almost where I highlight my face. So like my upper cheekbone, and then down in here. Sometimes on my forehead. So this one's probably one of the easiest ones to work with, but one of the least understood. Into the temple, on the forehead. Alright, and that is it. We are now officially color corrected. Now all I have to do is just put on my foundation and my concealer like normal, and then you're good to go. So I will do that on camera really quick, and then you guys can see the end result. For my concealer, I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. And this I think is almost like color correcting. I got this in Ipsy, although I have had it before. I like it, however, I find that it creases unless you use a very, very minuscule amount. And I think that people use this and they use it like a normal concealer, and they're using way too much. Honestly, this right here is all you need. That teeny tiny little bit on my finger. That's it, guys. Alright, we don't need to be going concealer crazy. See how much that thing comes, how much product was right there? So just blend that around with your finger, and then beauty blender, of course, and done. Now I will use a little bit of this Bye Bye Under Eye for the areas I thought were extra terrible. So like right here, I'll put some, and that's about it. So next is foundation. By the way, this is a haul that I'm waiting to tape for you guys. That's why it's there. And for my foundation, I just got this. It's the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream with SPF 50. Whew. I have only used this today. However, I am already in love with it. I can tell. This is what it looks like. This is the full size, and you actually get a pretty good amount of product in here. It's 1.08 ounces. Most foundations are an ounce or less, so you do get a decent amount of product. And what I really loved and didn't expect is you pull this cap off and it's a pump. It's a pump. Oh my god. I was so happy to see that this was a pump. You guys have no idea. So anyway, we're just going to put on our foundation like normal.
Spread it around up here. We'll take it down my nose. And right here. On my chin. And we'll start blending that now.
This part's going to be the tricky part. My whole cheek area. Just because there is so much redness. Alright guys, so that is it, and last but not least, I'm going to share this with you guys just because I was totally blown away by it. Really, that completes the color correcting. As you guys can see, there is no redness. The redness is gone. Most of the bags under my eyes is gone. You can't even see that blemish that was up here anymore. You can't see any of the redness that was around my nose. Most of the blemishes that were on my chin are totally faded, and there's just a little bit of that heavy blemish left over there, and that is really it. So that is what color correcting is supposed to do, and that's how you are actually supposed to color correct. But the very last thing I'm going to do is, this is also from IT Cosmetics, and it is their Bye Bye Pores Loose Powder. And I'm just going to put this in areas where my pores are enlarged or I have a problem with them, and it will just basically even that out and make them look beautiful. So yeah guys, that is really it. Color correcting is really that easy. But just a couple things to keep in mind. Like I said, not everyone needs color correcting, and certainly not everyone is going to need every single shade of color correcting. You might not need any of it. You just might not need color correcting at all. You might only have a little bit of redness, which would require the green color corrector. You might only have a little bit of dullness, which would require the purple. Or you might have some bad under eye circles, which might require either the yellow or salmon colors. So you definitely don't need all of them. You may not need any of them. You might only need a few of them. And that depends on you and you alone and nobody else. So just please keep that in mind. Also, like I said, as you guys saw, I used a very, very small amount of color in all of those areas. You don't need to paint your entire cheeks green. You don't need to do salmon under your eyes completely. You only need a little bit. Tap it out with your finger and then blend it out with a brush or a sponge. You don't need to go like full on with the color, guys. A little goes a long, long way. But as you guys can see, the end result is well worth it. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't think this is where I'm going to permanently be staying. I would love to be up here in my room next to all of my products now that I have sufficient lighting in here. However, there's just not a lot of space. I just set this lighting camera up today. This is my first time using it, period. So I'm trying to work with it, get used to it, and see, you know, what I can move around in my house to have kind of like a semi-permanent filming spot for you guys. But that's it. I hope you guys like this video. I hope I helped some of you in some kind of way with this whole color correcting thing. I know everyone is pushing it so much right now. So if you want to see more of that, if you like what I have to bring you, you can always just like and hit that subscribe button to stay posted on when I post on YouTube. That's it. I hope you guys are going to have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye.